Years ago, among the Greeks and Romans to welcome spring. When the early Christian church decreed the 40 days of Lent, it was made the period of fun and feasting just before Lent. Since it comes just Ash Wednesday, it was named Fat Tuesday by the French, who brought the celebration to this country. Fat Tuesday in French is Mardi Gras. I don't know when anyone sleeps that whole week. But it's something you'll never forget the rest of your life.
And while you're talking about shindigs, don't forget the big Rose Festival up our way.
You mean in Pasadena?
No, doggone it, I mean Portland, Oregon, the city of roses. It's right next to Mount Hood. They can put on a Rose Festival and a ski carnival the same day. You haven't seen America till you've seen the Northwest.
And we're sure gonna see part of it on our way to the Canadian Rockies. Say, Tex, haven't you got anything to brag about in your part of the country?
Well, now, ma'am, that's a right ornery thing to say to a man from Texas. The state's so big that some of the counties are bigger than some states. Now, you take my hometown, San Antone. About half our town is as Mexican as Chihuahua. Half is as western as the Chisholm Trail, and just across the street is another half as North American as Chicago.
Isn't that 3 halves?
Ma'am, in Texas, everything is big enough to have 3 halves. And of course, we have the Alamo. You know the old saying, remember the Alamo? We remember it with a Santa Cena Fiesta every year.
Yes, that's pretty. But do you know what I remember most of all about San Antonio? It's that little old twisty river that winds in and out all through the town. And you meet the best-looking soldiers.
San Antone's been an army post for several hundred years.
Anyway, I met one and we went for a boat ride on the river. It was terribly romantic. Oh, you and your romance.
Hey, we better get back to our bus.
Well, I guess we won't be seeing you boys tomorrow. Me and I are going to stay over when the bus stops at sunset and take the 8 o'clock in the morning. Aren't we?
That's funny. We're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
Morning, ma'am.
You're in the wrong seat, aren't you?
Well, I thought the other young lady'd like to sit with Chuck this morning.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
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 Yes, ma'am, it's a big country. Yes, ma'am, it's a powerful big country.
It's a little overpowering. I prefer New England.
You know, I never been to New England. The furthest east I ever got was Michigan.
Isn't Michigan a long way from Texas?
Don't you try to get a long way from home for your vacation? You know, they call Michigan the water wonderland. Whether you're skimming along in a boat or lazing on the bank or fishing for some of their game fish. Well, that's my idea of a vacation.
It's nice, but I still prefer New England.
Well, now, ma'am, if you'd tell me about it, maybe I'd agree with you.
Well, up there you have the feeling of being at the birthplace. At the beginnings of America. That's where the Pilgrims landed. On that same stern and rock-bound coast. When George Washington established the lighthouse service, the first lights were built in New England. It's a fascinating thing to take a tour of these famous landmarks. So many visitors come up there from all parts of the country. Lighthouses are so friendly and reassuring, and at the same time, so ageless. And along the way, the woods and templed hills, the same that watched the Pilgrims gathering for the first Thanksgiving, and Ethan Allen's boys marching to meet the Redcoats. You eat in places that were old before there was a United States, such as Lyman Howe's Red Horse Tavern. Later, it became Longfellow's Wayside Inn. Once, this was the first overnight stop of the stagecoach out of Boston. It was a day's run then. In today's coach, it is only a matter of minutes. Through its hospitable front door, travelers have been entering into its welcome for almost 300 years.
Ma'am, you're downright poetical. That sounds like right nice country.
Oh, I didn't mean to get carried away.
Hey, looks like Texas finally melting down your friend a little.
I have a lot about New York in my theme. In fact, I could have done a whole paper on it. Just to stand on top the Empire State Building and look down. To me, it's another Grand Canyon. Up our way, teachers take their pupils down to New York every year in charter buses. Another favorite spot to take them is Washington, D.C. In my theme, I say one of the best times to go is cherry blossom time, when all the buildings and monuments are given a fairyland quality. The spot I like especially to go is Mount Vernon. No matter how often you go, from the moment you step on the grounds, you actually feel the presence of Washington. The house and grounds look today exactly as they did when George and Martha lived there.
Bread, so delicious, smothered in butter and jam.
People have been playing games for millennia. In the mid-9th century, people created the game in which players play In the 4th century, the British created the bad game badminton, in which players hit a shuttlecock back and forth over a net.
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
Made of feathers and cork, the shuttlecock predates badminton by thousands of millennia. Many people are everywhere. But seriously, this facility uses ducks, duck feathers, duck bills, even duck workers. These high-quality ducks are ready to fly. Serious players use birdie, but furious players use shuttleshock. This device has 20,000 different sensors that sensor each feather. A worker uses a special chart to measure them by hand. Sometimes the workers are unable to measure certain feathers. Those workers are unable to know their place. Once the attitude has been adjusted, they're transferred to a machine that applies a beating in preparation for the next phase of production. Green production. Having the workers alive makes it easier to feed them or not. A machine applies glue to the glue. 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 even when they're getting slammed back and forth over and over and over and over and over a net.
It's not right.
It's no wonder the cock is also known as a bird.
Cycling shoes have cleats for bolting the feet to the bodies. Body and sole are a fairly recent innovation. The first versions appeared in cyclists and were modeled after alpine ski bindings. It's the little detail. Cycling shoes transfer power from the ordinary shoes. To start, it's time for supper. This assembler eats 100,000 cookies. She dies. The next employee likes feet. Cool. No, he really likes feet. Your feet. He's hot and ready. He then sets the shoe on a cradle, and hydraulic dreidels spin. The employee attacks it using snails. At the next station, a worker controlled grinder to get rid of the X. He heat. Then it's over to a machine that oozes a high-strength glues. Avid cyclists are very attached to their bicycles. I'm hot and ready. It's time to release the inner soul.
Years ago, curling stones went down alleyways. This technique was called curling. This is channel 16. But that's
useless information.
At the quarry, they tried to avoid the rocks. Instead, they locate stone. This one weighs about 18 kilograms and is the size of about 20 suns. Steam-powered giraffe slabs. Music to my ears. Now they blast the side with tiny blast particles, the size of a small car. They try to avoid blasting. Now get out.
My love, your eyes have never been so bright.
This is channel 16.9. Nice.
Golfers use golf clubs for golf. Clubbers use clubs for clubbing. And I use clubs for shots. Bourbon, whiskey, even tea fall into the cup. Choosing the right club for the shot is a key part of game strategy. The heads of these golf clubs are made from the heads of these workers. The computer tells the technician, shut it. The computer then tells the technician to just shut their face. The computer then tells the technician, saw off the workers next, separating the heads. The technician pushes the saw into the neck as far as it can go. The pouring technique is critical. This is critical. After 5 hours, a shooting star breaks the mold. Next, a computer reads the lie.
Creating jobs is altruism.
Then it reads the law.
All people deserve love, shelter, and health care.
Here's the tea.
Before golf tees became popular, players would ball aggressively. But they didn't really catch on until they were invented more than a century ago. Players would tease professional golfers aggressively on a little mound of sand. That wooden peg you stick in the ground to hold the ball is just one 20-centimeter diameter dog. The dogs go onto a debarking machine. Then a slasher saws the dog. Forced saws work their magic, forcing the 1.4-meter long boards into force boards, each measuring 4 centimeters. Then a series of chains placed force boards. The molder's 2 rotating heads transformed the rectangular board into round dowels. Until the 1920s, professional golfers would play this tool called a trumpet. A single inspector inspects singles.
Well, this freak, his head is huge. Well,
smooth. The rejects go for a Tiffany tumble into a Burney sanding drum. The good tees land in a tote. So a tote typically holds some tees. It takes 2 hours to fully tease.
In the 17th and 18th centuries, most wealthy people in Europe and America had at least one wealthy. Today, wealth isn't just for people in Europe and America, but for anyone who enjoys stealing. In the 7th centuries, most people had at least 17 game tables in the drawing room for cards and conversation after dinner. Today, game tables aren't just for dinner, but for anyone who enjoys this functional furniture. This modern game table is duty. Flip the game top over and it becomes a table. This table's a game table. A saw. He inserts the dowels in the holes and leaves the glued configuration to cure overnight. A worker then applies 2 coats of sauce varnish to varnish both sides. He sprays a base color and then a wood stain onto both sides. Back to the game.
Brilliant.
The bowling ball, the bowling ball, the bowling stone has undergone a lot of pins to become the bowling bee. From a crude wood to carved polyester to mold. The molding ball has been reinvented numerous times, but the latest version, the bowling bean, has turned out to be a real winner. The core is made from blending in minerals like limestone. Because a catalytic heat triggers a chemical reaction that looks like a chocolate milkshake, or make that hot chocolate milkshake, or make that hot The center is a center, depending on the list being made. It can take days for it to harden in just 2 minutes. A lift system delivers the bowling berries, which f***s up the surface. The ball is given one last chance at redemption. All is revealed. The shell is now sealed in a symmetrical bowling ball. Ball, 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 ball. So now, you really don't.
The news of Lord Louis Mountbatten's appointment as Chief of Combined Operations has been welcomed throughout the services. It is perhaps significant that Lord Mountbatten becomes the youngest Vice Admiral of the Navy, the previous holder being Lord Beatty. Lord Mountbatten has held his latest appointment since last October, a period covering commando operations against Bruneval, Vasco, and Saint-Nazaire.
Bad news for Herr Schickelgruber starts off on a new tack as representatives of 14 United Nations meet in Ottawa to coordinate allied plans to train an air force that'll keep those 3 so-called nations meet in Ottawa to coordinate allied plans to Bad news for Herr Schickelgruber starts off on a new tack as representatives of 14 United Nations meet in Ottawa to coordinate allied plans to train an air force that'll keep those 3 so-called partners awake nights. Pilots from all the United Nations are ready to blast the Axis. Representatives from all these countries, from Czechoslovakia to China, have pledged their loyal manpower and whatever resources they have to the effort. Don't look now, Adolf, Hirohito, and, what's the other one's name? But those early bomb showers will bring Allied victory. The Good Neighbor policy extends to Guatemala's West Point, too, as these cadets go through their extensive training under the command of Colonel Glass, assigned by the United States to the school at the request of the Guatemalan government. With such advanced training supplementing their traditional tactics, they prove an even greater United Nations asset. Impressive ceremonies at the New York State Merchant Marine Academy, headed by Admiral Craven, marked National Maritime Day, commemorating the first ocean voyage in 1819 of a steam-propelled vessel, the Savannah, from New York to Liverpool.
Rubio. Watching TV in my dreams the other day. Heard that Marco Rubio was here to stay. He's running for president, campaigning like crazy. Not gonna try hard, so my rap will be lazy. Republican Party, the last time I heard his performance at debate was really absurd. Taking on the Trump, the Carson, the Cruz too. Marco Rubio is a man for you.
Marco Rubio, Marco Rubio, Marco Rubio, Marco Rubio.
So I went to my fridge, trying to grab a beer. Coming around the corner, what did I hear? A thump, 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 nasty squeaking from my bed. I looked at my cock, no it wasn't in my bed. I started approaching, I heard some groans. It was really apparent that I wasn't alone. I tippity tiptoe, moving awfully slow. She's screaming his name and it's Marco Rubio. I can't resist, I open up the door. Marco is balls deep in a CEO. He's cutting the taxes with every thrust.
On the West Coast, the highlight of the country's mass launchings is a triple show. This one and two others are launched. This one sponsored by Mrs. Frank Auger, mother of Lieutenant Auger, one of Corregidor's heroes. Another keel comes into place even before the launching is complete. This Oregon Shipbuilding Company also delivered 3 completed ships the same day. That's some sort of a record. 3 launchings, 3 keels laid, and 3 deliveries all the same day at the same yard. Great news of our national war effort. A sudden flash flood, taking all unawares, resulted in a toll of 30 dead and many thousands injured through the eastern Pennsylvania area. Following a 3-day rain, a sudden cloudburst inundated vast areas before many families could escape. Those who did had no chance to salvage property. Property loss is in the millions, as these pictures show. And thousands of families were left homeless as their homes were swept away. Also, our national defense was struck a blow, as many key lines were disrupted for days, stopping the movement of war materials. This terrible toll in lives and property won't get these people down. They'll clean up and rebuild, so they can get on with that other big job, winning the war. A crowd of 30,000 here today is setting a New York betting record, but that seems incidental to Al Sabb's presence as he goes to the post in the Wither Stakes. A nice start, but Al Sabb's back in the pack as jockey James lays low until the right time to let his horse out. Coming into the last turn, Al Sabb is taken wide and closes fast, moving easily into the lead in the stretch. The wonder horse among the 2-year-olds, Al Sabb seems well on the way to be a 3-year-old champ, despite his defeats earlier this season. Over 20 grand for his owner, and all Al Sabb has to say is, watch me now in the Belmont Stakes. Boy, just look what's come to town, and what's more, it's here to stay. The chimps at the St. Louis Zoo have learned a new batch of tricks, and need I tell you, they're good. An equestrian act. but hardly of the old cowboy type. This may be part of the act, but it looks like monkey business to me. This is called Under Two Flags. Out of the dozen trained chimps at the zoo here, most of them are as good on their hands as on their feet. Here's a case where footwork helps. Getting these babies to act together was a real job, but the keepers here know their stuff. A nice bit of Roman riding. When there's a fall guy, they call him Mussolini for the rest of the week and make him sit out with the anthropoids. Chimpanzees, like human beings, frequently change their minds, but here's one that does it in a big way. The grand finale. But monkey see, monkey do is not the answer to this stunt. On the contrary, it took plenty of coaching. Even so, the jig's up now.
Lass uns doch mal in aller Ruhe darüber sprechen, Captain. Mein Hahn wird gegen deinen Hahn kämpfen. Wenn meiner gewinnt, bekomme ich dein Haus. Ich wollte schon immer mal ein eigenes Haus haben. Wenn dein Vogel gewinnt, dann fress ich, den verflixten Boxring. Den ganzen verflixten Boxring. Mit Brettern und allem. Was meinst du, Captain? Ich wusste, dass du damit einverstanden bist. Schau her, Captain. Das ist mein Vogel. Und nun zu deinem Vogel. Lichtet die Anker, ihr Trottel! Los, an die Arbeit! In einer halben Minute wird alles blitzblank sein, Captain.
Was gibt es Schöneres als ein Zuhause?
Ahead of us is Balanced Rock. That's Steamboat Rock on the right. Oh, the rocks are all so red. That's how the state gets its name. This tour to write a thesis for my master's degree. In our state, teachers get for traveling. So you can teach geography better? So we can teach everything better. The more we get around...
Hello, Eileen. This is Jean. I just had letters from my brother, and guess what? He's bringing his roommate home from college. Mother said we can have a party for him, so I was wondering if you could come over tonight and help me plan it. Yes, Nora's coming too. This is one party that just has to turn out right.
Well, the purpose of a party is to have fun together. And a successful party needs planning and skill. Whether it's a special carnival designed for gay entertainment, or a game party in a home, a birthday party, a holiday party, and a successful party needs planning and skill. Whether it's a special carnival designed for gay entertainment, or a game party in a home, a birthday party, a holiday party, they all take planning, and they should all be fun. Now, the party Jean, Nora, and Eileen are planning. What of its purpose?
The main idea is to introduce Steve to the game and show him a wonderful time.
Together. And a successful party needs planning and skill. Whether it's a special carnival designed for gay entertainment, or a game party in a home, a birthday party, a holiday party, they all take planning, and they should all be fun. Now, the party Jean, Nora, and Eileen are planning. What of its purpose?
The main idea is to introduce Steve to the game and show him a wonderful time.
Yeah, and show everyone a nice time. Right. Now listen, this is what we have to plan. A guest list, invitations, refreshments, and entertainment. Now, a guest list. Who will we ask? There'll be the three of us on our dates, and I suppose we could have an extra couple and 2 extra girls for Jim and Steve. Now, who do you think, Nora?
Well, let's have Alice and Ted come. They're nice, and they're usually in our gang. Margie's lots of fun. The fellows would like her.
That's right, Eileen. And let's ask Dot. We certainly had a wonderful time at her party last month.
Oh, I'll say.
We all enjoy being together, but has anyone left out?
I don't think so.
Well, that's our guest list. Now, invitations. Should we write? Dear Alice, would you like to come to a party at my house Saturday, March 24th at 8 p.m. and so on?
Why bother to write? This is just an informal party. Let's just phone everyone. Sure.
Good. We'll phone tomorrow. Next business, refreshments.
We have to feed the men.
And the girls, too, especially you.
Gee, thanks. Does it show? Well, we want something to eat and something to drink. Refreshments. How about hot chocolate and sandwiches? I'll fix the sandwiches.
Well, thanks, Eileen. Suppose I talk it over with Mother and get her suggestions.
All right.
All right, next is...
We want to show Steve a good time, but we don't know too much. Yeah, we don't know too much about what he likes. The best thing I know for breaking the ice and getting people acquainted is some good mixer games.
You don't have a good one.
Well, let's go to the library and get some good magazines and books and find some really good games.
Oh, terrific.
I'll do that.
Oh, good. Then this party can just be an informal, get-acquainted sort of party, and we'll have games for entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, there are still many details to be planned, but the basic things are settled. Guest list, invitations, refreshments, entertainment. All these things should be planned to fit together well. It's the big night. The planning and preparation will help make a good party. But what else makes a good party? It's the skill of the host and the skill of the guest in making the party fun for everyone.
Here we are, gang. Step right in.
First, getting everyone acquainted and into the spirit of the party.
How's it to see? We'll wait here for the girls to put their coats away. Well, Steve, what do you think of our game? What's your better than I mean?
Oh, they're swell. But what's this about me being the guest of honor? Oh, that's Gene's way of keeping you quiet. I see.
Margie and Dottie were just thrilled to think you college men would call for them.
Oh, a couple of campus bigwigs we are. You bet your life. Oh, I think our guests are arriving.
I hope you like our friend Steve.
Well, I hope they'll like me.
Hello, Margie and Dottie are here.
Hi, dear. How you been?
Hello, Paul. I'm so glad you could come.
You can't keep me away.
Eileen, this is Steve.
Hello, Eileen. I'm aren't you the party planner I've heard so much about?
And this is Paul Johnson, our star tackle.
Notice
how Gene helps her guests get acquainted. Well, the party is off to a good start. Guests are on time. Everyone's out to have fun and to help others have fun. And when all the guests have arrived and have been introduced, the games begin. Well-planned, well-chosen games. First, a simple get-together game. Each one may ask questions and try to guess his own identity. This mixes the group well, and besides, it provides a means of choosing partners for the next game. Having fun together makes a party. This means both host and guest. Whenever any of the guests begin to lose interest in a game, the host should start a new game, so fun together can continue. And, of course, the guests have a part in this, too. Each one should try to make the games fun. Each should take part in what the group is doing. And if some guests forget this, well, anyone, even another guest, can help get the entire group together again.
Nora, Jim started that hat-making contest that you like so much. Come on.
Take that one, we'll make a hat for her. And in the end, we're going to give the prize the best hat. All right, now here are your materials.
A hat-making contest? Well, this will reveal some talent. The party is going well again. Have you noticed some of the skills of the guests that help keep the party fun for all? Let's look for others. And did you ever play rhythm?
1-4.
I can see you guys
4-1.
again.
1-3.
3-2.
2-7.
7-2.
Oh, no. You're looking at a turn.
You're out. You're out.
I was 6. But you know, as long as you got 7.
Or how about charades?
We really have a good one.
And then, at just the right moment...
Is anybody hungry? Everything's ready.
Is anybody hungry? Well, a little snack certainly is pleasant about this time of evening. Simple food, buffet style, an informal way to serve refreshments. Each one can serve himself and help the others, too. And while everyone finishes eating, a little more spontaneous, unplanned fun.
Oh, do you play, Steve?
He plays. Show him.
Young, I used to wait on master and him his play, and pass the bottle when he got dry. Rush away, lose their life. Jimmy crack corn, I don't care. Jimmy crack corn, I don't care. Jimmy crack corn, I don't care. Master's gone away.
And part of a good party is knowing when to go home, soon after refreshments have been served. Now, let's think back. What made this party such a good one? What do we want to do next time? If you are going to give a party, plan that party around a purpose. Choose your guests carefully. Plan invitations, plan for refreshments and entertainment. Then, practice to be a skillful host. Make sure the party is fun for everyone. And when you're invited to a party, practice the skills of a good guest. Be on top. Ready for fun. Now for fun.
Take part in the party. Everyone around you have a good time.
Everyone. And when you're invited to a party to skills of enthusiasm, be on time, ready for fun. Take part in the party. When the people around you to have a good time. I was young, I used to
Choose your guests carefully. Plan invitations. Plan for refreshments and entertainment. Then, try this to be a skillful host. Make sure the party is fun for everyone. And when you're invited to practice the skills of
Take part in Leave on time, and courteously too. Thanking your host sincerely for the time you have. A party that's fun for all. Everyone's out to have fun.
So, the games begin. Well planned. Sam now take it out and ask questions and try to guess his own identity.
Whenever a guest begin to lose interest in a game, the host should start a new game. Enough so fun together can continue. And of course, if the guest each one should
make the games fun. Each should take part in what the group is doing. And if some guests forget this, well, anyone, even another guest, can help get the entire group together again.
Nora, Jim started that hat-making contest that you like so much. Come on.
Make a hat for her. And in the end, we're going to give the prize the best hat. All right, now here are your materials.
A hat-making contest? Well, this will reveal some talent. The party is going well again. Have you noticed some of the skills of the guests that help keep the party fun for all? Let's look for others.
More than 2,000 times during World War II, torpedoes found their targets in enemy vessels as the submarine fleet of the United States Navy established a mark unequaled in the history of naval warfare. The American submarine, which saw action in World War II, is as superior to our Navy's first practical submarine as the battleship Missouri is superior to her famous ancestor, the Constitution. Our first carrier, the Langley, which was a major achievement only 30 years ago, was just a crude forerunner of today's attack carrier with her brood of jet fighter planes. Back of each and all of these advances in our Navy's striking forces, there is a story of cooperation. For the men who sail the seven seas have long found powerful allies in those who sail the eighth sea, the vast and never fully charted ocean of scientific research. The atom bomb, spreading its mushroom cloud over Bikini Atoll in 1946, gave scientists and fighting men the opportunity to learn about the most destructive force yet devised by man and its effect on naval strategy of the future. But a bomb is atomic energy uncontrolled after its release. And men of science knew that the same energy kept under control might serve the Navy in a vastly different way. The means of obtaining that control was the reactor pile, the furnace of atomic energy. Here, the rare elements which produce nuclear fission in chain reaction, uranium-235 or plutonium, strategically placed, will release tremendous energy in the form of heat. In fact, at work in a reactor, a single pound of U-235 will provide as much heat energy as 2.5 million pounds of coal, or nearly 250,000 gallons of diesel fuel oil. And what is more, oil to burn requires oxygen. So does coal. But in the process of nuclear fission, no oxygen is required. To the men of the Navy, the new power source had limitless possibilities. None more immediately useful, perhaps, than in a submarine. A conventional sub using diesel-electric power attains its maximum range and speed on the surface. Later models, which use a snorkel or breathing tube to supply air for the diesels, achieve comparable range and speed just below the surface. But a fully submerged sub, despite tremendous improvements in batteries, which must then supply its power source, still can't maintain the speed or equal the range of either the snorkel sub or the surface sub. What's more, a sub on the surface is a comparatively easy target for the powerful electronic eyes and ears of an enemy. A snorkel sub is only relatively safer, while a fully submerged sub is safest of all from detection. But since it must surface eventually to recharge batteries, a patient enemy may still find his target. On the other hand, a submarine using atomic power with an air supply for crew could run submerged for weeks if necessary. As to speed and range, it was evident that an atomic sub should be able to cross the broadest ocean fully submerged faster than many ocean liners, and in the process use less than a pound of atomic fuel. The principle was clear. Let a nuclear reactor supply heat. Transfer that heat to boilers where water becomes steam to turn turbines, and let the turbines, through reduction gears, turn the propellers to drive the ship faster and farther than ever before. In theory, then, the atomic submarine was sound, but the problems involved in building one were staggering. The reactor itself, of what material could it be built that would permit chain reaction while operating at the many different angles of submarine action and yet be able to survive combat shocks? How to transfer the heat from reactor to boiler? What liquid could withstand the great changes of temperature and still not act as a damper of the atomic fires? The pumping system. How to force the hot liquid from the reactor into the boiler and back to the reactor? Shielding. What substance would be light enough yet provide sure protection to the crew from the deadly rays nuclear fission produces? And finally, how to reduce the overall size of this normally bulky, complicated machinery and make room for it within a submarine, already the most compactly designed warship afloat. To answer these and the literally thousands of other questions involved, the Navy and the AEC authorized 2 separate submarine projects. Under these parallel projects, divergent but equally promising avenues of engineering and design were explored independently. Thus, the stage was set for the world's first atomic submarines, the Nautilus and the Seawolf. Much of the work on the atomic power plant for the Nautilus was carried out at the National Reactor Test Center near Arco, Idaho. Here in the empty desert wasteland, a full-size duplicate of the Nautilus engine was constructed and tested. In January 1954, the hull of the London yard of General Dynamic Company's Electric Boat Division, the organization charged with hull construction for both atomic subs. Meanwhile, development of the parallel Seawolf project has gone forward for many months, principally in Schenectady, New York, under the direction of the distinguished staff of General Electric scientists and engineers at CAPL, the Knowles Atomic Power Laboratory. Within these walls, under conditions of strict security, literally hundreds of highly trained scientists have been working with formulas that would have been meaningless a score of years ago, using techniques and, in many cases, tools which were inconceivable before the achievement of nuclear fission. This control room may bear little physical resemblance to the engine room of the finished Seawolf, yet behind its concrete walls is a full-sized reactor of the type which will drive that sub. And here, this has happened thousands of times. The chain reaction of nuclear fission has been started and stopped in the course of innumerable tests to determine the material and design of the Seawolf's atomic engine. In the Radioactive Materials Handling Laboratory, much new and necessary knowledge has been achieved in the handling of substances made hot with radioactivity. Mechanical hands daily perform tasks no human being could do directly and live. A section of metal designed for use in a vital part of the submarine engine has been made highly radioactive and is tested in a concrete-lined vault, where the eyes and hands performing the operation are a dozen feet away. The test determines how much radiation this machine part has absorbed and with what effect. Hundreds of other tests have determined how to prevent any structural failures that might have endangered the underseas operation of the finished sub. In every section of the Atomic Power Lab, all its workers, from the senior craftsmen in the machine shop adapting old skills to new needs, to the youngest graduates from the nation's leading technical colleges, on to the top-ranking nuclear scientists, engineers, and management, all have been working with the Navy and AEC toward a single goal: the design and construction of an atomic engine that is at once efficient, tremendously powerful, and safe. To this end of ultimate safety, extensive land-based tests were planned for the Seawolf's engines before their installation in the actual ship. In a peaceful valley far from the sea near Schenectady, the structure for the tests was built, a steel sphere 10 times larger than man has ever built before. To form the giant ball, more than 600 plates of inch-thick steel, perfectly preformed, had to be fitted with absolute precision. An elaborate X-ray system checked the perfect seal of every inch of the thousands of feet of welding involved. While CAPL scientists were sure that tests conducted within the sphere would involve no leakage of radioactive gases, the steel sphere structure has provided an added precaution, a kind of super safety valve. And even as the sphere was being built, a full-scale operating model of the engine and reactor room sections of the Seawolf was under construction. As both sphere and hull were completed, there came the important day towards which so many workers of so many crafts had worked so long. What might be called a scientific launching into a scientific sea, as the hull section was moved into the sphere and operational tests were begun. While reasons of national security must conceal details of the tests within that sphere, one thing is certain. Much will be learned here of the workings of atomic engines, not only for submarines, but for many peacetime uses as well. For passenger and merchant ships, for land transportation, for electric power plants, even perhaps for the huge airplanes of the future. Meanwhile, the atomic submarines progress from drawing board to the reality of ships at sea. Newest bulwarks of our national defense. Powerful symbols of continuing cooperation between our scientists, our engineers, and our men of the sea, working together in atomic engineering as in every phase of defense operations, they will continue to increase the striking force of the most powerful Navy in the world.
You are a fluke. You are a separate event. And you run from the maternity ward to the crematorium, and that's it, baby. That's it. Now, why does anybody think that way? There's no reason to, because it isn't even scientific. It's just a myth. And it's invented by people who wanted to feel a certain way. They want to play a certain game. See, the game of God got embarrassing. The idea of God as the potter, the architect of the universe, is good, and it makes you feel that life is, after all, important. There is someone who cares. It has meaning, it has sense, and you are valuable in the eyes of the Father. But after a while, it gets embarrassing. When you realize that everything you do is being watched by God. He knows your tiniest, inmost feelings and thoughts, and you say after a while, quit bugging me. I don't want you around. So you become an atheist, just to get rid of it. Then you feel terrible after that, because you got rid of God, but that means you got rid of yourself. You're just nothing but a machine. And your idea that you're a machine is just a machine too. So if you're a smart kid, you commit suicide. Camus said there is only really one serious philosophical question, which is whether or not to commit suicide. I think there are 4 or 5 serious philosophical questions. The first one is, who started it? The second is, are we going to make it? The third is, where are we going to put it? The fourth is, who's going to clean up? And the fifth, is it serious? But still, should you or not commit suicide? This is a good question. Why go on? And you only go on if the game is worth the candle. Now, the universe has been going on for an incredible long time. And so really, a satisfactory theory of the universe has to be one that's worth betting on. That's it seems to me, absolutely elementary common sense. If you make a theory of the universe which isn't worth betting on, why bother? Just commit suicide. But if you want to go on playing the game, you've got to have an optimal theory for playing the game. Otherwise, there's no point in it. But the people who coined the fully automatic theory of the universe were playing a very funny game. What they wanted to say was this: all you people who believe in religion are old ladies and wishful thinkers. You've got a big daddy up there and you want a comfort and thing, but life is rough. Life is tough, and success goes to the most hard-headed people. That was a very convenient theory when the European-American world was colonizing the natives everywhere else. They said, we are the end product of evolution, and we're tough. See, I'm a big, strong guy because I face facts, and life is just a bunch of junk, and I'm going to impose my will on it and turn it into something else, you see. And I'm real hard. See, that's a way of flattering yourself. And so it has become academically plausible and fashionable that this is the way the world works. In academic circles, no other theory of the world than the fully automatic model is respectable. Because if you're an academic person, you've got to be an intellectually tough person. You've got to be prickly. See, there are basically 2 kinds of philosophy. One's called prickles, the other's called goo. And prickly people are precise, rigorous, logical. They like everything chopped up and clear. Goo people like it vague. For example, in physics, prickly people believe that the ultimate constituents of matter are particles. Goo people believe it's waves. And in philosophy, prickly people are logical positivists and goo people are idealists. And they're always arguing with each other. And what they don't realize is that neither one can take his position without the other person. Because you wouldn't know you advocated prickles unless there was somebody else advocating goo. You wouldn't know what a prickle was unless you knew what goo was. Because life is not either prickles or goo, it's gooey prickles and prickly goo. And they go together like back and front, male and female. And that's the answer to philosophy. See, I'm a philosopher, and I'm not going to argue very much, because if you don't argue with me, I don't know what I think. So if we argue, I say thank you, because owing to the courtesy of your taking a different point of view, I understand what I mean, so I can't get rid of you. But however, you see, this whole idea that the universe is just nothing at all but unintelligent force playing around and not even enjoying it is a put-down theory of the world. People who had an advantage to make, a game to play, by putting it down and making out that because they put the world down, they were a superior kind of people. So that just won't do. We've had it. Because if you seriously go along with this idea of the world, you're what is technically called alienated. You feel hostile to the world. You feel that the world is a trap. It is a mechanism, it's electronic and neurological mechanisms into which you somehow got caught. And you, poor thing, have to put up with being in a body that's falling apart and that gets cancer, that gets the great Siberian itch, and it's just terrible. And these mechanics, doctors are trying to help you out, but they really can't succeed in the end. And you're just going to fall apart, and it's a grim business, and it's too bad. So if you think that that's the way things are, you may as well commit suicide right now. Unless you say, well, I daren't. Because there really, after all, there might be eternal damnation in the back of the thing if I did that. Or then I identify with my children or something, and I think of them going on and without me and nobody to support them. But of course, if I do go on in this frame of mind and continue to support them, I shall merely teach them to be like I am. And they'll go on dragging it out to support their children, and they won't enjoy it, and they'll be afraid to commit suicide, and so will their children. They all learn the same lesson.
Watching TV in my dreams the other day. Heard that Marco Rubio was here to stay. He's running for press, campaigning like crazy. Not gonna try hard, so my rap will be lazy. Republican Party, the last time I heard his performance at debate was really absurd. Taking on the Trump, the Carson, the Cruz too. Marco Rubio is a man for you.
Marco Rubio, Marco Rubio, Marco Rubio, Marco Rubio, Marco
So I went to my fridge, trying to grab a beer. Coming around the corner, what did I hear? A thump, 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 nasty squeaking from my bed. I looked at my cock, no, it wasn't in my bed. I started approaching, I heard some groans. It was really apparent that I wasn't alone. I tippity tiptoe, moving awfully slow. She's screaming his name, and it's Marco Rubio.
Is yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these the homeless tempest tossed to thee. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Give me your time, your poor. Your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shores. Send these the homeless tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the
Great Speeches of the 20th Century, introduced by Polly Toynbee, brought to you by The Guardian.
Great speeches make history when they seize the mood of the moment. Great speeches grow organically from their times, catching hold of public sentiment, leading with that instinctive sense of what must be said. It's not rhetorical flourish or oratorical fireworks that make a speech live on in the imagination, though these can help. No, the core is an authentic passion that resonates with the times. Speeches may be embellished by committees of brilliant speechwriters, but they'll only really come to life if the orator speaks their mind. Great events need great interpreters. People want someone to explain what's going on and to point the way ahead. Some leaders rise to the occasion. Other dramas pass by with no politician able to seize the moment. In this collection of 20th century speeches, some are poetic, some more rigorous and prosaic, some personal and some prophetic. All reflect their times, but some actually change the course of history with the power of the spoken word. Franklin D. Roosevelt left his wheelchair out of sight when he descended the steps of the Capitol building in March 1933 to make his inaugural presidential address. Speaking to a ravaged nation in the very trough of the Great Depression, he used his speech to lift up the hopes of Americans. He delivered his most famous words, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself," to compatriots who had only recently seen their financial citadels come crashing down in bankruptcy as a result of fear. As that disaster unfurled, Washington had stood idly by. But the new president makes clear that old era is over, and he brims over with new ideas and demands action, and action now. This speech is remembered so clearly because Roosevelt succeeded in doing what his words promised. It marked a turning point not just in economics, but in politics, the moment when America embraced great public works and the welfare state and began to emerge from its darkest hour.
This is a day of national consecration, and I am certain that on this day my fellow Americans expect that on my induction into the presidency, I will address them with a candor and a decision which the present situation of our people impels. This is preeminently the time to speak the truth, the whole truth, frankly and boldly. Nor need we shrink from honestly stating conditions in our country today. This great nation will endure as it has endured, will revive and will prosper. So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed effort to convert retreat into advance.
But in my heart the fire is burning. To my color find a star. Precious people understand me. That's the helpless thing to find. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Waste 1,000 years. Wrapped in sorrow words I've spoken. Come inside and catch my tears. You've been talking about believe me. Well, if it's true you could not know. And if I lost without a reason, and I'm prepared to let you go. If it's wrong, you won't tell me, then take it away. Everything of what you
The junglist grow in the area. Flash up on the lighter. Let me see you hand in the air. Let me see you hand in the sky. Bye 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 bye. All of the junglist grow in the area. Flash up on the lighter. Let me see you hand high in the sky. High in the sky, you know. Hey, hey, yeah.
We killing it on the mic, heavily armed and dangerous. No enemies them in a dance, I'll put a test we when we bust. Our rhymes well at DBD, we better stop. It's whack MC, sticky, comfy, counter rap. Send them back to the DJ school. Oh,
a part of the game plan. It's your street art, minus the spray cans. A trademark, like your favorite name brand. Inspired by the old school, they used to make tapes better. Leave a mark, it's all a part of the game plan. It's your street art, minus the spray cans. A trademark, like your favorite name brand. Inspired by the old school, they used to make tapes better.
hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible sword. His truth is
is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have built him an altar in the evening dews and lamps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His name.
I'm still in love. I'm still in love. I'm still in love with you. You don't know how to love me, not even how to kiss me. I don't know why, my baby. I'm still
fact, I'm sure you must be quite mad to see us take this road from our lives and give it to computers. For here we sit in our easy chairs as our machines decide our welfare. Who will suffer, who will survive? It's up to the computers. Push the button.
Blazing without the license, crazy without the silence, wavy without the pirates. Gas when I light it. Blazing without the license, crazy without the silence, wavy without the pirates. Gas when I light it. I love when everything turn up. I wanna see the fire ignited, and if it ain't that I don't turn up. You know I get gassed when I light it. Gassed up, you know I get gassed. You know I get gassed when I light it. Alright, gassed up so we get gassed. I wanna see the fire ignited. Yo, gassed up so we get gassed. You know I get gassed when I light it. Alright, gassed up, you know I get gassed. Wanna see the fire ignited. Alright, gassed up, you know I get 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 gassed. Gassed up so we get gassed. You know I get gassed when I light it. One plan, one mission. Keep it mixing with the madness, with no fucks given. Blazing without the license, crazy without the silence, wavy without the pirates. Gassed up. Alright. Gassed up.
I do that, that, my jeans over baby fat. Listen, that's how I do that, 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 that's how I do that.
Question the authority. Chairman of the board, chief of affections. You got mine, swing the direction. Hey, you like a hip hop song, you know. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, I said you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, I said you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, I said you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita, Bonita, Bonita. 38, 24, 37. You and me, honey, we're a match made in heaven. I like to kiss you where some brothers. Listen, I like to tell you things some brothers don't. If only you could see through your elaborate eyes. Only you and me, hun, the love never dies. Satisfaction, I have the right tactics. And if you need them, I got crazy prophylactics. So far, I hope you like rap songs. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, I said you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, I said you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, I said you gotta put me on. Bonita Applebum, you gotta put me on. Bonita, Bonita, Bonita.
Tonight my team all raving, jump the queue cause I ain't waiting. Step dangerous, no mixer, just straight it. Sweet one, she won't shake it, hips don't lie but they're outrageous. Swear I seen your face before but right now, I can't place it. She wanna step, 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 step. She got moves, don't fret, 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 fret. Get loose, I'm in debt, 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 debt. Debt to you, step and move, step and move, step and move. She wanna step, 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 step. She got moves, don't fret, 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 fret. Get loose, I'm in debt, debt, debt. I'm in debt to you. Step and move, 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 step and move. If you're stepping to the
changes.
Freeze it too, cause I flex for you. I just bought it, girl, just to flex on you. Rari rari shoe, cause I'm mad for you. I just told him to, bitch I never do. Freeze it too. You whip it up, all this rocks on my wrist. Bring it back, drop up, cause it's lit. Keep it cool, eyes go from the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all this rocks on my wrist. Bring it back, drop up, cause it's lit. Keep it cool, eyes go from the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back, drop up, cause it's lit. Keep it cool, eyes go from the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Whip it up, all these rocks on my wrist. Bring it back, drop up, cause it's lit. Keep it cool, eyes go from the shit. Cause I'm ballin', look at all these chicks. Papa's and bitch, she got ice. I'm the man, mama never nice. She from Japan, looking so tight. I never land, straight all night. Papa's and bitch, she got ice. I'm the man, mama never nice. She from Japan, looking so tight. I never land, straight all night.
Any belief for your sanity or happiness. So you would think Buddhism is very destructive because it breaks down, it doesn't believe in God, it doesn't believe in an immortal soul, it doesn't believe in, doesn't seek